Saw on your website about the T-shirt design contest, and I think it just ended, right?
It did,
So
because I was trying to get something primed and ready for this tour, and
Yes.
I was able to close the thing up and get a shirt in the in the works in time for I think a couple dates here down the road. We're gonna get our shirts. It was great. That was really cool. And
Yeah.
again, it's like I've got a lot of friends that are designers and people that have offered and that sort of thing. But I feel like what begets the most success, or at least makes this thing the most enjoyable, is the interaction, the connection, the exchange with the fans, not just on the stage, but like throughout the downtime and throughout the year. Letting them know that you respect them and that you care about their input, and something like that. I've had horrible luck, trying to find the right design and the right style of shirt, and I'm over it. I was like, I want these people to wear these shirts. What would they want to wear? So that's really kind of what started the whole thing, and we got some really great designs. We got some really interesting things, and it also was like revealing of sort of the creative side of the fan base, like who's out there and who's got some time, who's got some ambition to kind of sit down and put something together, and so yeah, we got some really great stuff. We settled on a really nice. Well, the votes came in, and it was sort of obvious which
Was
one.
it kind of a landslide, or leaned
It
more
wasn't-
towards
it-
one or two?
Yeah, there were two that were pretty tight,
Yeah.
pretty close, and they were totally different ideas. One was
that's cool.
really classic and sort of something that I don't want to say you would expect to see, but looked like a very popular item,
Right.
something that a lot of people would wear. The other one was much more quirky and it was very funny, like sort of a humorous thing that I was like, that's great, and when people, you see that, okay, half the fan base has a sense of humor,
Right.
half the fan
Like-
base is a little more refined, So we're ultimately going to print the two winners.
That's great.
The one is going to be sooner than the other. We're going to get around to maybe doing like a website exclusive for the runner-up, but yeah, so it was great. It was great.
You had a picture from an Apple in-store performance
Mm-hmm.
that you did. When was this and where?
I think the one that was photographed up there was from Chicago,
Oh, wow.
right on Michigan Avenue, which was
Oh,
like
yeah.
huge store. It was
Yes.
one of their flagship stores, I think, and it was great. It was just, I mean, you go in there and the whole experience is as intuitive and easy as a MacBook itself. It's like, just right this way, and here's your microphone, and whenever you're ready, and okay, this is great, and this person will be taking photos, and what's your email? We'll get them to you. It's like, huh?
It's so easy. What?
So yeah, it was very kind of, there's something going on there, and I haven't quite figured it out, but I think it's legit. I think it's very profitable.
Well, yeah. Well, how did that whole thing come about?
I forget what it was. I think there was someone who works in the, assigned to that project. There's a project that was called Live, Apple Live.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a series, a concert series where they're bringing artists in, and what they do is it's obviously ultimately to promote iTunes, and so what's cool is you go in and do your thing. They don't let you sell CDs, of course, because that's counterproductive, but what they do is they take all of the computers that are out there on the floor, and they route all of the iTunes pages to your iTunes page. And all of the browsers are linked to your website. So if someone goes in and wants to buy a MacBook that day that I'm performing, they'll go over and they'll click on Safari, and my website will come up, or my MySpace will come up. And then if they go to iTunes, it's really like
It all ties in. It
totally
makes,
ties in. It's like I said, it's exactly like the Mac products themselves. It's just very cool.
That is
Very cool.
good.
And the photos turned out really cool. And
They
it was like,
did.
wow, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a nice little turnout. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Chicago. And It was the day of a show. I had a show that night. So, yeah, it was great.
And then plans after this tour is over.
After this is over, I hope I get home safely with no complications in my travel plans on
no
the 23rd of December.
Oh wow, getting close, aren't you?
Every
Gotta
year,
get close.
last few years, I got stuck in snowstorms. I got stranded in Denver one year, but I've always managed to make it home for Christmas.
Well, where are you? Where, like on the 23rd? Where are you
flying out of like Cincinnati, Ohio. So hopefully.
You are not making it easy on yourself. You realize this,
well,
Ohio?
I know.
It's cold
We've
up
got
there.
travel. We got to travel through Chicago, and so yeah. But
Not the
we'll be
easy.
flying out of Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and it should be fun. It
Oh,
should be
yeah.
totally
It will
cool.
be good. It will.
And
You
but
gonna
then,
work on a new album,
but then
or-
I started an album actually at the end of the last tour, like the beginning of, I guess it was end of September. I got into the studio in North Carolina. I started working on a
Really?
project and started fleshing out some ideas and trying to wrap up like the writing portion of the thing. So went back to the drawing board and wrote a couple more tunes now, and hopefully we'll have even a few more before it's time to go back in. I think maybe in February. Because yeah, after the new year, I'm going to be on the Rock Boat, and yeah, this is the 10th anniversary. So this is like everybody that has ever been on it has wanted to get back on it for this run.
Yeah, that makes
and this
sense.
is will be my first one. So I've got some great slots to play, and what's cool is that over the years I've again the circles sort of interconnect, and I've gotten to know a lot of the guys that are on there, and I've toured with some of them and played, performed, shared the stage, and sat in with a lot of them. So there's going to be a lot of the music camaraderie for a newcomer. You know,
Right.
I look like I'm sort of warranted being out there, and
Yeah.
it'll be nice.
No,
It'll be really
they always
nice.
say it's who you know sometimes, and
Sometimes
it's
who
like,
you know, man,
you know?
and
Networking.
that's yeah.
gotta mingle.
I learned that a long time ago.
Oh yes.
You know, the trick is to just do it in a way that's honest. You know,
Right.
yes, it's who you know, but I didn't,
You're not
finagle
forcing
my
it,
way
no.
in and get to know
Right.
these people. Just this is what we do. And